You know that little box with the blinking lights in your living room? Your internet router? Well, it might be doing a whole lot more than just connecting you to the web. What if I told you it could be silently working for foreign intelligence? Yeah. Today, we're going to dive into how an elite group of hackers turned this everyday device into a spy.
So, you think you're safe. You've done everything right. You've got those strong, complicated passwords. You've even enabled two-factor authentication on all your important accounts. You know, that little SMS code or the Authenticator app that makes you feel pretty secure. But what if I told you there's a way for hackers to just completely bypass it? I mean, without ever needing that second code at all.
And listen, this isn't just some theory. This is real. The FBI just took down a massive global hacking network that did exactly that. And this whole operation, it exposed a huge vulnerability in a place we just never think to look. It really makes you rethink what it even means to be secure online. All right, so here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with how your router becomes a spy. Then, we'll get into the 2FA token heist itself. We'll look at the elite hacking group behind this whole thing, see how the FBI actually fought back, and finally, and this is the most important part, we'll talk about how you can protect yourself.
So how does an attack this massive even get started? Well, it's not with some crazy sophisticated virus targeting your computer. Nope. It all starts with that humble, that often ignored little box in the corner, your router.
And we are not talking about some small targeted operation here. No way. We're talking about thousands of routers in homes and small businesses, probably just like yours, all across the globe. All compromised and all roped into one single malicious network. Okay, so the hackers, they went after really common router brands, stuff like Microtech and TP-Link. And here's the kicker. They didn't need some insane super secret exploit to do it. They got in through the most simple, widespread vulnerability you can imagine. Outdated software. Yep, that's it. Once they were in, they could silently connect all these routers and just reroute everyone's internet traffic right through their own servers.
Okay, and this is where it gets really, really clever. I mean, redirecting your traffic is one thing, but how in the world does that let them bypass your two-factor authentication? The secret, it turns out, isn't about stealing your password or that 6-digit code. It's about stealing something completely different.
So let's talk about something called an access token. The easiest way to think about it is like a digital hall pass, right? When you log in with your password and your 2FA code, the website basically gives your browser this temporary pass. It's proof that you've already been verified, so you don't have to keep logging in over and over. It's the whole reason you stay logged into your email or social media.
And this right here is the absolute key. See, stealing a password, that's old school, and 2FA is the perfect defense against it. But if a hacker can steal your access token, which is exactly what they can do by sniffing your traffic through that hacked router, well, they don't need your password. They don't need your 2FA code. They are literally stealing your active login session. It's like someone jumping into your car after you've already unlocked it and started the engine. They just drive away.
So, who on earth is capable of pulling off an operation this sophisticated, this big? Let me tell you, this wasn't some random person hacking from their basement. No, this was the work of one of the most infamous, state-sponsored hacking groups on the planet.
The group responsible is known as Fancy Bear. You might also hear them called APT-28, and intelligence agencies have directly linked them to Russia's GRU. That's their main military intelligence agency. So suddenly, this isn't just about cybercrime anymore. We're talking about full-on geopolitical espionage.
And if that name Fancy Bear rings a bell, it absolutely should. These guys have a long and, let's be honest, notorious history. They're the same group linked to the DNC hack back in 2016, and the massive attack on the Viasat satellite network right when the war in Ukraine started, that was them too. This whole router botnet thing, it's just the latest chap.
Okay, so when you have a threat this big, operated by a known state actor, you can bet law enforcement is going to get involved. And the response had to be just as clever as the attack itself. And just look at the scale of this thing. It was absolutely massive. This botnet wasn't in just one country. It was a huge global network spread across more than 120 countries. And yeah, a big chunk of those compromised devices were right here in the US. And you gotta understand, they cast a super wide net. They'd hack thousands of regular people just to find a handful of really high-value targets.
So how did the FBI fight back? Well, with the court's permission, they basically hacked the hackers. It's pretty cool, actually. They designed and sent their own commands to all the compromised routers here in the US, which cut off the bad guys' access and basically tore down their control over the American part of the network.
Now, the FBI's operation was great. It shut down the existing network, but it didn't fix the root problem that let the hackers get in to begin with.
So let's get to what I think is the most important part of all of this, what you can do right now to lock down your own network.
Remember what I said earlier? The number one biggest weakness that Fancy Bear took advantage of wasn't some super complex, hidden security flaw. It was something so basic. People were just running old, outdated software on their routers. Hackers absolutely love that. They count on us to just set it and forget it when it comes to our network gear.
Okay, so here it is, your simple 4-step action plan. First step, just reboot your router. Seriously, turn it off and on again. In this case, that can actually disrupt the malware for a bit. Second, you're going to log into your router's admin panel. The web address for that is usually on a sticker right on the router. Step 3, once you're in, look for a section called Firmware or maybe Update. And finally, Step 4, check for any updates and install them. That one thing is your single most powerful defense.
So, by updating your router, you've basically just secured your digital front door. But this whole mess teaches us a really important lesson, right? Any smart device in our homes, your cameras, your thermostat, you name it, is a potential doorway for hackers if it isn't properly